Hi guys, Mr. Jaeger here, and welcome back to H3VR. Yes, we are back, and we are in the H3VR, which I actually did a recording a while ago, like about thanks to work, only mid last week, when I heard that the sample platter, which is the new big thing, which we'll be having a bit of a high valve people's nice. Which Mr. Anton Dev is currently showcasing at the time of the recording. It is Sunday. Which is currently showcasing to a bunch of Valve devs, hopefully they will like it, which acts as a tutorial area, and also is part of the big update 52, which I'm actually really looking forward to, because, you know, the take and hold with all the new gun mechanics and everything else I already had talked about, but because, of course, work being work, I hadn't actually gotten a proper opportunity to be able to get the stuff going. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to have like a couple of episodes. First of all, though, let's have a look at the scene, which is the platter. Now, be advised, this is an alpha build, which means there are certain things that will be a little laggy, will have a drop of frames. My computer isn't the beefiest, so unfortunately there will be a drop of frames. For any of you guys who may suffer a bit from motion sickness, well, first of all, congratulations, you're getting this far. But second of all, be advised, it may get a little laggy. Okay, so this is the sampler platter, which also is probably going to be the actual tutorial zone for the game. Because you can see here, we have a variety of different things. You've got the tool, interact with the menus, the Vive controller. So this is basically telling you how to teleport. Well, I'm on the arm swinger, which basically means as my arm is swinging, the game moves the character. There you go. And that way then you can actually get to move stuff around. I'm also on a slightly uneven surface, so let's just move. Huh, okay, that was just my brain telling me something else. So, yeah, so basically, when you pick up this game for the first time, this is where you'll be able to see trackpad, tracked beam. Oh, I kind of like the term sphere of influence now. So this is just a general how to pick up things, how to do stuff, and there's obviously a couple of horseshoes to indicate horseshoes. No hand grenades or hot dogs, though. Immensely disappointed. So this area, if you couldn't tell already, is the technical training / sporty zone. As you can see, there is the ruins of what probably was a little restaurant, but unfortunately, because grenades were utilized in this environment, I think probably... Ooh, it's even got graffiti. How nice. Oh, and I'm apparently inside the machine. I found a glitch. Ooh, a box. Ooh, that looks good. Anyway, so... Yes, this is what remains of the stuff. So, once you... in the terms of the tutorial, once you are kind of more familiar with how to pick things up, you have a total of 5 zones to select from. Each will utilize the basic aspects of the game. So you start off with the hors d'oeuvres, and there's a whole bunch of text which I won't bore you to tears by reading. So the first one is the hors d'oeuvres, a sample platter with some lighter fare offering compact interactions with all the flavour of our main courses. Or in short terms, grenades! Because, you know, why not? So, as you can see, we have a plethora of objects, including a baseball bat, which I'm liking. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that looks good. Right, I'm curious. Can I? Ooh, I can. Oh, sweet. So, never played American baseball before. Diddly-dit-dit-it. And he fails. Diddly-dit-dit-it. And he fails. Third time, lucky! Yeah! And I hit a hot dog. Woo! See, I did that on purpose. Anyway, so you have a plethora of items to select from, of course, the famous M67 hand grenade, the robot hand grenade, which has a much more specific timer, the old-fashioned American dynamite, which does require a lit match or whatever to fuse, a bunch of matches, which if you strike upon this, which I'm not going to lie, this made me like geek out when I first saw this, if this will ever work. It's a bit awkward. Yep. Okay. This is the thing. You have to kind of... Yeah. Oh, actually, that's a point. Can I just... You have to kind of just strike them. There you go. See? That's awesome. And it burns properly. Not how it should, but you know what? Actually, no, it does. It is actually kind of burning. Ow, fuck. Wow, okay, that just turned into strobe lights. Anyway, so, apologies for epileptic people. So, oh god. Okay. So, what you can do at this particular range is you can use the, use your remote control sphere of influence, which I'm really happy he's kept the 2 spheres of influence because that is so much nicer. And you can pick items up like this Jerry the Lemon and throw. Obviously, he probably wants you to utilize the hot dog. Ooh. Right, I'm going to do something cool. Right, if this works, this is going to be amazing. So, what you could do is use this little lighter. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No! Thank God I had a lot. Yay! That could have been rather messy. So that's the general sort of premise. Oh, by the way, banana grenades. They're hilarious. Just like in Worms 2. Okay, ready? 3. Oh, that did not go in the direction I intended. Anyone's from Worms 2? You lucky. You kids don't know nowadays. Anyway, so that's the Hors hors d'oeuvres. General throw 'em. Bit dangerous for someone who's just getting into VR because they'll probably hit someone or something. But there you go. So also you can see there's various other little areas as well, which is pretty nice. Is it me or is my... I might have to evaluate my spatial awareness. So, oh, nice and under construction. Is that a grenade? That is, in fact, a giant grenade. GG. So you then go to the salad bar, which is the basic pistol bar, which gives you a nice sampling of all the different pistols to choose from. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there is... Oh, no, there is. Oh, that's at the last one. Okay. So, in this area, you get to choose from revolvers, semi-automatics, and basically the more powerful pistols. So you start off with a revolver there, the famous 1911 Colt 45, the Deagle, which is the optimum of pistols. Then you've got the revolver, which is the 44 Magnum, and my personal favourite, though this is the long barrel version, Luger. Well, I say my favourite. It's one of my top 3 pistols, and you basically get the option with a tutorial which shows you how to fire the pistol. I do love how that's just got little images of food and guns. And you basically just shoot whatever target takes your fancy. And it just shows you how to fire and play with the game. So, and also, actually, whilst I have it, might as well use this revolver. You also have the option to have a melon baller, if it wants to turn on. It is on slow, admittedly. We'll go at turtle speed. Oh, there's the turtle. Oh. Yeah. I've never really been good at these sort of aim at something while it is moving. One more. Oh, never mind. So, if you're actually a good shot, unlike me, you can try that on, which is pretty awesome. So, there's the pistols. Now, we get to go to the soup station. Lovely soup. And this one has the introduction to submachine guns and shotguns. The best kind of choice for a submachine gun, obviously, the 1928 A1 Thompson. Now, this is also where you begin to learn a bit of the foregrip style, which basically is the reason why we now have 2 spheres of influence. That's what I call it. It's probably not officially known as that, but I like to call them that. So, in the earlier iterations of the game, you only had 1 sphere of influence, which, depending on what kind of weapon you were using, made the gun a little bit more awkward to use and made accuracy a lot more of a pain in the ass to handle with. Whereas now that you've got two, you can actually hold a weapon as you would kind of hold the weapon in real life. Now, obviously, because this gun it has got a foregrip, it makes more sense to utilize this particular sphere of influence, unlike this sphere of influence. But in the next section, you will find out it's actually pretty handy utilizing this sphere of influence. And another pretty awesome thing about this update is that the handling of the gun is way more realistic than in the earlier iterations, because basically everything now has a little bit more weight to it. Because in earlier iterations, we'll use this as an example, you basically could hold the gun in pretty much whichever way you wanted, like that, shake it around, and there wasn't really any sense of weight, which meant that controlling the gun when firing, you know, your hands aren't holding a real gun, so the shake of your hand would mean that your gun, if I just was over-dramatizing it, I'd be like, you know, the natural shake of your hand would make being a pinpoint accurate would be a lot harder. Now, with this update, the guns have a bit more weight to it, so you can actually hold steady. I mean, my hands are a little... He says as he now has more of a shake. Jesus Christ. But now the guns actually have much less shake, he says, trying to keep his hand still. Or at least, it'll probably be a little bit more prevalent with the other weapons. But also, Thompson, so let's have a little go, shall we? Ooh. Nice. That's cool. So, once again, shows you how to do it. Oh, also, first iteration of water in horseshoes hand grenades. Yeah, not exactly the most realistic, I'll be honest with you, but at the same time, it works, which is pretty awesome. And this is also where... Nice. This is also where they introduce you to shotguns, and what better shotgun to introduce you with than the M1897 trench gun. This absolutely beautiful piece of work with its awesome pump, which is where this comes in. I'll be honest with you, this is the only complaint I have about this particular iteration. The sound effects for the shotgun do not sound meaty. They don't. I'm afraid they just don't quite sound meaty enough. The earlier iterations had a pretty awesome shotgun. This one kind of feels just like you're clicking a door shut. Just my own personal opinion. So as you can see, you can utilize the shotgun. You have a plethora of rounds, and you get to enjoy all the kind of triple hit, nice. You get to enjoy all the different kinds of shells. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the other sphere of influence to basically shoot the targets. But still, beautiful model. Absolutely beautiful model. There we go. Right, so let's go now on to the hotbar. Yes, this is where it gets awesome. So now now that we've taken care of pistols, shotguns, grenades, and submachine guns, we now get towards the meatier items. So now we have rifles. We have on the left-hand side the M38 version of the Mosin Nagant, which is obviously the famous Second World War rifle of the Soviet Union. And here we have a Soviet Union-style stripper clip. Well, I don't think the Soviet Union had any particular styles. But this is where having the two sphere of influence actually kind of works. Because now I can hold the grip using the second sphere of influence like I would a normal rifle. And as such, I can actually aim and treat this gun like an actual rifle. I do love bolt-action rifles. I'm leading the target when I really shouldn't, because there's no bullet drop in this. Or at least if there is. I'm trying to show off when I shouldn't. I just should try and just shoot the targets I can hit. Ah, for fuck's sake. Ugh. That moment when you hit targets, no matter what you try and do. Okay, that's annoying. I think I pulled the trigger. Or not, because I'm just a terrible shot. Come on, one hit. Just give me one hit. Oh my god! Right, if this shot doesn't hit, I'm a shit shot. Fuck you. That hit. Anyway. So, my point, very poorly proven. There we go. My point, as I said, poorly proven, is that now certain weapons are a lot easier to utilize with the new 2-grip system. Unfortunately for me, I now probably look like an encompassed idiot, but hey, let's just get an M4 out to please the Americans. So, also, what they introduce you to in this particular stand is all of the attachments, because there are more attachments now for the weapon. So you can have a 4-grip, which is like an angled grip, which is nice. And you can press the down on the D-pad to add on a new one. Let's get the traditional actual 4-grip. And let's put an American flag on the underbarrel. Oh, actually, no, is that a bad sign, actually? The American flag the wrong way around. You know what, we'll have it on the side. There you go. So it doesn't block the sight. And we are now able to use reflex sights more. I mean, you could use reflex sights before, but I didn't like them because obviously the whole shaking thing kind of put my aim off. Not that I had an aim to begin with, I'll be honest with you, but you know what? Shush. So now I get to use this thing like it should. Oh, good God, my hands are gummy as all hell now. So now you get to see. So that's basically the M4, and it's utilizing how to utilize the M4 with the stuff, which is pretty epic. I'm liking this a lot. I am kind of speed running through this, admittedly. So you have a lot in this tutorial. You have the option to muck about with as much as you want. Do you want to make your gun a flamethrower? Then you have the option, though admittedly this doesn't actually act as a flamethrower, but more the ability if you wanted to light something up, say, for example, a dynamite. I think my sense is a little bit glitchy. That's so weird. But yes, so... Oh, shit. Remember, kids, always keep your gun on safe, he says as he dry fires. So, there's the rifle range. And finally, we have the dessert table, which is basically a ginormous grouping of items with a ginormous grouping of fairly powerful weapons. First of all, you may notice the Gatling gun, the original Gatling gun, not the one that's used by the holy A10, but instead one that was utilized in the first time in, I believe, the American Civil War. I could be wrong, and is the forefather of all automatic weaponry. You simply grab the rear of the weapon as such, and you then hold your right trigger to utilize the crank, and you spin it, and as such, oop, glitch there. This is where the glitch might come into it, because I had noticed something. So, some of you may have noticed, or may recall in my Christmas video, there was a Christmassy version of this, but this is the proper version now, which I'm liking. I think this also was available in the Western Town item as well, which you can have a look at. Obviously, you've got the more modern equivalent, which is the minigun, which, let's face it, I have to use this because it's amazing. You put the box in like so, it automatically holds onto it. You hold on to both using the foregrip and whatever. And, yeah, have fun. Yep. Oh. Right, that was awesome. Oh, should I empty the mag? No, it's fine. It'll be safe. Just don't touch it. So, finally, we have the option of using the terrorist gun, he says as he drops it. There we go. So, I say the terrorist gun. Many of you may automatically recognize this. This, of course, is the RPG-7. And, ooh, it is actually quite a nice little weapon, isn't it? Or is this the RPG-2? I think it was the 7. So, you also have the option of becoming Taliban but douchebag if you fire this. So, firing. So, you basically get to muck around with explosives, which is pretty awesome. Oops, he says as he completely drops it. So, fire one more time. Try and see if we can hit the target. Oh, this thing has goes up, then down. Got it. I'll be honest with you, I haven't messed around with this in quite some time. Oh, come on, game. Last shot. Aim slightly low. Bang in. Stuff. So, that would conclude the tutorial. And then that way, you could kind of choose between each of the items. Do you want to go back to the rifle range? Do you want to go back to the boom range, the grenade range, the pistol range? And it's an instantaneous transport, as you can see in the background, but we're going to stick at this range. Dessert? There we go. So you have to go to the sort of thing. And if you want to try and you do some stuff again, you can apparently... Oh, there you go. Press that, and apparently that resets everything. It's not working right now, but... I'm sure, like, little patches here and there. This is completely alpha, by the way, so not everything works. But one of the cool things also is that if you wanted to, there is the spawning table. So if you are more familiar with the game and you know what you want to use, for example, a new pistol or the C96 with automatic capacity Mauser, for example, you get to do that. So, that's the tutorial area, which is actually really nice. You know, so the initial summary of this particular thing is that this is a fantastic zone. It allows people who aren't completely familiar. Can I shoot this? I'm going to shoot this. It does. No. Yes, there is rockets here. Cool. So, so it allows people to feel a lot more comfortable, or whilst they're getting used to utilizing. Oh, you can actually hear it. Cool. So, basically, this is a great tutorial area, and I think I would have definitely benefited from, ooh, I sense something different here. Oh, that looks cool. Let's have a look. So, yeah, I like this zone. I like this zone a lot, and I think, as you can see, there probably is room for constructions, there's probably room for updates, there's probably room for more awesome things, which is nice. Ooh. I love the detail. So guys, there you have it. I hope you have enjoyed. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. And yeah, I honestly hope Mr. Anton does well in this particular preview, because especially considering the current climate regarding firearms in America at the moment, going to a game with purely guns in mind probably will be a little harder to sell. But that said, I honestly hope he does well, because, you know, I mean, he's a nice developer. I've watched his videos regarding the game. He is a nice dude. You know, I don't know him in real life or whatever. He's not paying me to say anything or whatever. I'm literally just saying, because considering the current climate regarding video game developers, I do not mind getting how to go out for this. Most of the AAA developers are right assholes. So to see a developer who not only cares about his community as much as he probably cares about the game itself is nice to see. And I honestly hope he gets a little bit more support from Valve. So anyway, guys, for the last act of this video, we're going to experiment. Let's see. Oops. Let's just get another one, shall we? And I'll just pick it up from there. Let's see if I can try and...